Okay, so the $1 million question, what is the best time frame to trade on? And a simple answer is it depends. It depends on so many different things. Not every time frame is good or bad. It all just depends on what your approach is, what your methods are, what your analysis is, what your favorite preferences are. It all depends on your style of trading and your approach and your personality. What does that mean? It depends on, do you like scalping? Do you like intraday trading? Do you like swing trading? Are you a patient person? Are you an impatient person? All of that depends on who you are and your preferences as an individual. There is no one answer fits all type thing in trading. It all just depends. Trading is a skill that caters to every single individual, and that's a skill that you have to figure out as you go along in your journey learning how to trade. So, what time frames matter? Okay, so what if you're a scalper? Okay, if you're a scalper, then the best time frames are probably going to be the smaller time frames. That means 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, maybe even 30 seconds if you're entering on a scalp trade. That really all just depends. What if you're an intraday trader? If you're an intraday trader, then the best time frames are probably the 15 minute, the 5 minute, the 1 hour. If you're a swing trader, the best time frames are probably 4 hour, daily, 18 hour, 12 hour, maybe even a 1 hour. It really just depends on your style of trading. There is no one size fits all in trading. It's all subjective to the individual. Um, okay, so what style of trading do I prefer? My go-to preference that I figured out works best for me most of the time is intraday trading. So if I trade intraday, that means I'm trying to get in. I'm not trying to hold for way too long. I tend to get in and out in a few hours to max 2 3 days. You know, if you're a scalper, then you probably get in a couple minutes to a few hours at most. And then if you're a swing trader, then you're holding for a couple days, probably a couple days, maybe even a few weeks, maybe even a couple weeks, maybe even a month or two. Okay, so how do you figure out what time frame works best for you? Well, the best way to find the best time frame for you is to figure out whether you like scalping, whether you like intraday trading, whether you like swing trading. And really, that depends on your schedule, on your lifestyle, on your personality type. If you're an impatient person, then you're probably better off scalping. If you're a patient person, you're probably better off intraday trading or swing trading. It really depends on your life, your lifestyle, your personality type, whether you're patient or not, and what works best for you on a daily basis. So you have to figure out what kind of trading you want to get into first before you know what time frame is the best time frame to trade, because the best time frame to trade depends on your style of trading, and the only way to find out your style of trading is to figure out what works for you and your in your life right now and your personality. Okay, so what works best for me? The thing that works best for me is probably intraday. So that means that 15-minute time frame is probably the best time frame for me. Maybe if for the 5 minute if I'm trying to enter a new trade, but the 15-minute is kind of like the center point of this entire range. That means the 15-minute is the most important time frame, and all the smaller time frames are less important. So when I say the 15-minute is the center point, that means that is the focal point of my analysis. The 15-minute. Everything else that's smaller is less important and is reserved for entries. Everything higher is because it's more for gauging the general trend versus getting in and out of the specific scope of my trade. So that's what I mean when I say the 15-minute is the center point of my trading approach and style for intraday trading. So if you're a scalper, maybe your center point is the 5 minute, and the time frames bigger than like the 1 hour are less important and are more reserved for determining the trend of your type of trade. So you have to figure out what works best for you, and then figure out what your center point time frame is, and at that point then you figure out what is the best time frame to trade. And you have to understand that you have to look at everything as a whole. It's not just one specific time frame. Even though 15-minute time frame is the best time frame for me for intraday trading, I always factor in the bigger time frames for the general trend and the smaller time frames for entries. And I always tie everything together, and then I step back and look at the bigger picture of what I think is happening once I tie in everything together and look at it as an entire picture. It's like I'm looking at a painting, right? I don't look at every individual speck of that painting. I look at all the pieces together and how all the colors mesh and show me an entire painting. It's not just individual little pieces of the drawing. I look at the whole thing and I factor all the colors together, and then I step back and I try to understand what's happening in that picture. And then when you're trading, it's what is the bigger picture of everything going on, and I tie that together. So that's how you figure out what the best time frame to trade is for you. It really just depends on the individual. Okay, so what should you do to find the best time frame for you? I mean, that's something that you have to figure out after trading for a little bit, whether it's a few days, a few weeks, few months. Understand what works best for you, whether it's scalping, intraday, or swing trading, and then figure out what's your centerpiece time. What is the center point? What is the best center point time for you based on your experience trading for that amount of time, whether it's days, weeks, or months. And then from there, then you can figure out what the best time frame is for you.